My Wunderkind returns. In my entire court, I knew there was only one who could have succeeded in this task. Finally, the Ankaran sarcophagus is ours. Come, I've granted Beckett's request to study and document all the markings of the sarcophagus. You've met Beckett, haven't you? Let's go take a look inside and see what the commotion around the city has really been all about.
Chocolate or gold? I'm putting some of what's inside in my pockets.
You will be rewarded for your work, I promise.
Where have my eyes
Now,
gone to?
let's go open the sarcophagus.
I know.
Know what?
Prince LaCroix and Ming Chao sitting in a tree. Plotting.
What? Preposterous. No kindred would trust them, nor would they trust us. Did Jack tell you that? Because it sounds like you've been taken for a fool.
I've been taken for a ride.
And you believed them. They've been trying to take over LA for years. It's a ruse, a falsehood spread to undermine my rule and turn kindred against each other, thin our ranks. They are duplicitous, evil creatures. Did they not try to kill you?
Lots of people have.
Insurance. They lied to you in case you lived through the encounter. They hoped to create dissension in the ranks, rumors. It's a trick older than you or I.
Lies. I mean your words.
I'll indulge your baseless paranoia no further. Let's open the sarcophagus. What have you assessed so far?
Unfortunately for the Heralds of Doom, it appears we won't be opening Pandora's box. The markings, as far as I can tell, are of Assyrian origin. An extraordinary piece, but nothing earth-shattering.
I see. Then there is no good reason why we shouldn't open it. Won't budge. Beckett, do you see any mechanism for the lid?
I haven't as yet had a chance to pore over it with my fine-tooth comb. I think I have one in my bag.
Why won't it open, Beckett? And you, I thought you said it looked as if it had been opened on the Dane. I want it open! You and Beckett, figure out a way to open it. I need to know what's inside. I have other matters to attend to. Come get me when a solution has been found.
Ah, the depths to which I'll sink to prove others wrong. The young ones get so temperamental. Fortunately for Sebastian, is it? I'd already made up my mind to open the sarcophagus, if only to show the city that Gehenna, contrary to popular belief, has not begun.
I want it open. Who am I? Why should we care?
Thinking of leaving the organization? You'll break poor Sebastian's heart. Seriously, my advice would be to follow this sarcophagus nonsense through before you defect. Princes don't handle rejection well.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Put your ear to it. I'll shake it, and you tell me what you think's inside.
A better idea?
Yes, quite astute. Fortunately for us, I know of someone who has distinguished himself in this field.
That guy on the historical network with the pith helmet? He makes learning fun.
No. His name is Dr. Anders Johansen, a professor of archaeology from Norway. He was the one responsible for finding the sarcophagus, and as far as I know, the only authority on its origin and design.
Is he in the bathroom? You can always find mortals in there.
Until yesterday, he could have been found in his suite at the Empire Hotel downtown. But when I stopped by earlier this evening, all I found was spilt coffee on a morning paper. Appears he's been abducted.
Damn aliens! That's who did it, right?
I detected the scent of myrrh incense, which is usually burned in monasteries. Also, I found beach sand in part of a muddy footprint. Putting two and two together, I located a monastery near a beach in Malibu, where I believe hunters are holding Johansen captive.
This story is going somewhere, and so am I, right?
The hunters abducted Dr. Johansen for his own protection, or at least that's how they've justified it. He's being held by the Society of Leopold and used, quite ingeniously, as bait for Prince LaCroix's minions.
Leopold is a good name for a turtle.
Sebastian mentioned you ran into one of the hunters from the Society of Leopold some time ago. They're so secret a church organization, I don't even think they know if they exist. But essentially, they're murderers for Christ, or some such deity.
When you get him out, write a comic book about it, so I can relive the adventure.
It's not that I don't love walking into the heart of danger to curry favor with the local magistrate of the hour. But actually, that's exactly it. I'd rather not get involved in the politics of it. Besides, I'd better document the sarcophagus before Sebastian's goon smashes it open.
I don't want to get involved either, but tell that to whoever is playing me.
You'll have to go to the monastery and find a way into the tunnels beneath where the hunters are holding Johansson. I'm afraid I can't accompany you, but then it's best you go alone. Too many of us might set them off, like fundamentalists on contrary opinion.
Can I borrow your airship?
I wouldn't recommend walking. Certainly Sebastian's already provided cab fare. I'm sure he always spares no expense when archaeology is at stake.
I cannot hunt hunters in this sorry state. I must get repaired.
Remember, Dr. Johansson is an innocent. He has no idea we actually exist. Try not to put the idea in his head.
What idea?
Did you find a way to open the sarcophagus?
The sarcophagus is secure. I wish my finances were similar.
I can't have my protege looking plebeian, can I? You'll find I can be very generous towards those who serve me well.
I fought beasts beyond imagination. Coated myself in the filth of kine.
Point made.
Yes. I wonder something.
Which is?
Tell me of the Eastern kindred, who are not kindred.
Traditionally, the Kuei Jin have stayed in Asian territory, and the kindred Europe, and later North America. But recently, they invaded the West Coast, killing off a substantial number of anarchs. They lack the organization of the Camarilla, and think nothing of breaking the Masquerade. Though we share similar traits, there is no fraternity between us. We embrace. They rise from the grave. They do not know the pleasure of blood. They are without clan. And oh yes, they believe our kind to be inferior. They are as much of a threat as the wolves.
Wolves?
Werewolves. I can still recall a time when cities were surrounded by miles of forests full of the beasts. But progress has taken care of that problem.
What's in the box?
If you didn't take the time to ask, perhaps we'd know by now. As I mentioned before, my concern is that it pertains something supernatural, though Beckett has waived this theory altogether. The city is alight with dread. Perhaps it's an antediluvian.
Antediluvian?
A joke. The antediluvians are the mythical progenitors of each of the clans for whom they trace their bloodlines, and according to mythology, descendants of Cain, the legendary first vampire.
That name. I know it well.
As in the biblical Cain and Abel? Before you put too much stock in it, realize that the church and all of its mythos are blends of kindred and mortal meddling. Whips to regulate weak minds. This is all Beckett's field of expertise. If you want a lesson, merely ask him.
Bye.
Yes.
The dead book, Widow.
The Voce del Morte. The Giovanni never willingly share their secrets, and I've had little success infiltrating their strongholds. How did you obtain this?
They never knew I was there. Nor did I. Where did I go?
It will take some time to translate and unlock the secrets of this. I will have to move on from the city to evade any Giovanni seeking it. Take this. This will complete the terms we agreed to, and I think it is adequate compensation. It is the key of Alamut. It instills dread in those that would harm you, and makes it harder for them to strike you. Make no mistake, our dealings do not make us allies. If indeed we meet again, do not ask me for any favors. I will give you this final advice, however. Leave this city. These are its final nights. Discord looms heavy. I've felt this before.
One can jump high, but never escape gravity. Farewell.
Just keeps getting more interesting, doesn't it, kiddo? The Giovanni, the Quay Gin, lots of blood being spilled for a 10,000-year-old conversation piece, wouldn't you say?
Gehenna. The hand of the Dark Father. The lid opens. A dark secret I see.
Man, you guys give me the heebie-jeebies. Sounds like you know a lot more about something than you're supposed to. Lucky for you, you probably don't understand what you're saying. If you did, I'd be talking to a pile of ash right now.
How did your ears catch news of the terrible talisman?
The streets, the hillsides, there's eyes and ears everywhere.
The jester has his prize.
I heard LaCroix's been talking to Beckett, too. Beckett's a skeptic about all this stuff. I just hope he knows to be careful dealing with that snake LaCroix.
Why does the old wolf help the jester?
Well, Beckett's apolitical, you could say. He's just interested in the truth of our origins. Politics and all that and minor details to him.
He and the jester send me to find the Sarcophagan scientist.
You do what you have to do.
I don't wish to help him open the Pandoran box.
Kid, if you don't do it, somebody else will.
Yes, a dark hand reaches for the lid and reaches out from it.
You're in a good position to make a difference, Mr. Big Shot. A lot of kindreds wondering just which way you'll go.
I see. I'll go to the left then.
Heard anything?
LaCroix courts the lady from the east. I think they are made for each other.
What? Who said it?
This guy, right before I killed him.
If this is true, listen, I can't believe even LaCroix's that low, but keep an eye on this. If there's anything I hate more than camis, it's the goddamn Quay Gin.
Many voices, speaking loud, saying nothing more. Foo Fighter. Shadowy Corporation assaulted by Chinatown vigilante.
Hey,
Hey,
heard anything?
yes. Many things, secrets for me only. So, what's the news?
Did you hear the one about the tuna and the chef?
I love that story.
A tuna walks into a sushi restaurant, says to the chef, "Hey, you killed my father." Chef says to the tuna, "That's my business, fish." Tuna thinks about it, says, "Then I challenge you to a game of chess. If I win, you stop being a chef forever. And if I win," asks the chef, "you can feed me to your customers." Tuna replies. So the chef and tuna play chess. Tunas love to play chess, so in a few moves, the chef was checkmated. "Well, looks like I win," says the tuna. Chef nods and plunges his knife into the fish's belly. "But I won," says the tuna, as he feels the knife wiggling into his guts. "So did your father," says the chef.
Yes, I see.
Good night, and have a pleasant evening.
You too.
Master?
Nothing new. See you later.
The story of the Ankaran sarcophagus took an even more bizarre turn when Professor Anders Johansson went missing from his hotel room earlier today. Evidence of a struggle in the professor's room at the Empire Hotel indicate to investigators that Johansson was abducted. Johansson's family has received no demands yet, and there is speculation that his disappearance and the earlier theft of the Ankaran sarcophagus are related. Police officials have gone on record as saying, "Don't worry, that crazy bastard will save him." Freak sandstorm.
The Muse's Muse, from VV. Oh, I do hope the nights have been kind. You were on my mind tonight, and I must admit, it was inspiring. I wrote this for you. Death cannot smother love, dead hearts are not always broken. Plant a kiss on my corpse, love blossoms. Did you love it? VV. The campaign, from a friend. The success of a campaign is weighed by the commitment of your opponent.
It is pleasure. I mean, a pleasure to see you again.
What news, White Goddess?
The Camarilla tried to get its hand down my skirt, so I slapped him in the face. Prince. The only title I want is for a cherry red Porsche. I'm sure they're out for blood, but I have a few new sugar daddies, Nines and Isaac. Know 'em?
I too fly the Anarch flag. This duckling has come wadding back. Lonely still?
Oh, sweetheart, desperately these nights. I'm just a lonely little girl on a rainy day. Know any games we can play?
I remember a sweet thing we did, but can we enjoy it again?
Oh, well, it's a little different, but entirely possible. Come sit next to me on the bed. I'll show you.
Please.
Here again? What's the matter? Can't bring yourself to tear into the neck of some quote-unquote innocent? All that blood out there, and you have to buy the prepackaged stuff. That's okay. I understand. I forgive you.
Your words give me visions of a ragged hole in your neck.
I meant no offense. I have respect for you. I just meant that all that power, and you don't even use it. Seems wasteful, shameful. All these sheep, all these happy-go-lucky 9-to-5 tools walking around oblivious. If 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them go missing, the flock grazes on.
Only the tainted hunter kills what he does not need. Gold buys me grace.
Survival? Since when has survival had nothing to do with murder? Murder is what mankind and your kind do best. Can you look me in the eyes and tell me you've never killed anyone? How about it, Saint? Yes or no?
Yes, and I see you as my next head on the wall.
Oh, as you should. Yes, I'm weaker than you. I'm no match for you. I serve your kind because of my weakness, my addiction to your blood, and I aspire to be like you, to think like you, to be on the other side of this conversation. I respect and envy you.
I see you only as future sustenance. Remember that and give me blood.
Going somewhere?
You are the seed that takes this lemon to its destiny. Hurry!
Greetings, Commander. Greetings, soldier. Anything to report? The Gladius Day has told us to keep a sharp eye. He thinks we may have some visitors this evening. Of course, sir. My duty, as always, is to protect the Brotherhood. All seems quiet from now. Good, good. Did he mention, what kind of visitors, sir? The only kind that matters, soldier. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Carry on.
Lord, I pray now that you give me strength in battle, that I might overcome the hordes of Satan and his children, that I might wield the flaming sword of the Archangel and defend myself with your shield of faith, and that my victories are many and my wounds few, that I might further your kingdom here on earth. And if I meet death tonight, then let it be first that I cast a mighty host of demons back into the lake of fire whence they came, and then rest finally in the light of your glory. Amen.
Grunfeld seems particularly uneasy this evening.
Yes, LaCroix has begun to move more openly, and Brother Grunfeld grows impatient.
Ah, yes, LaCroix. As always, Brother Grunfeld focuses only on his old nemesis. Let us hope his fanaticism best serves the interests of our order, and not merely his own unresolved grievances.
Are you mad? Brother Grunfeld will not tolerate such insubordination. Hold your tongue. You know upon whose direct authority he acts.
Yes, no. Far be it from me to question the edict of the Holy See.
You would do best to remember your place. Brother Grunfeld is a faithful warrior. He has battled Satan's spawn for longer than you've been alive.
Then I pray the Lord grant me the same years to fight in his army. Amen.
This journal is inscribed with the initials GB. We have tracked LaCroix to Los Angeles. He has made his lair in the penthouse of the Venture Tower, hiding behind some legitimate business front while commanding his legion of demons by cover of night. I pray to the Lord for strength in the coming days, but there is a shadow that hangs over my heart like the dark wings of Lucifer himself. It is not LaCroix I fear, nor his underlings, but there is fear in my heart nonetheless. An ancient evil is stirring. May God grant me the strength to overcome it. Woke up this morning, and the sun on my face was little comfort. We lost 3 of the brethren last night in a fierce battle with some hellspawn, minions of the vampire we know as Alistair Grout. We have been unable to find his lair, but it is only a matter of time. May God have mercy on the souls of our brethren. The mystery surrounding the Ankaran sarcophagus and the massacre on the Elizabeth Dane has my superiors troubled. I have been told to expect a package in the mail that may be helpful in shedding some light on this artifact. Its arrival seems convenient in light of LaCroix's recent arrival. Something is amiss, yet I cannot see what machinations are at play. I will wait and have faith that the Lord will see us through. We finally found the lair of Alistair Grout, but it seems we were too late. The demon had already been sent to hell before I was able to dispatch him. I ran across a younger vampire who seemed unaware of Grout's demise. No doubt one of his sucklings come to visit its master. I took care of that demon and destroyed the house. I thank God for his eternal watchfulness over me and the Brotherhood. There seems a great unrest among the vampire brood here in the city. Perhaps the arrival of LaCroix was unwelcome to the rest of the damned? I know not, nor do I care. They will all burn, whether by my hand or the Father's. The Ankaran sarcophagus was stolen today from the Museum of Natural History. The police report we obtained leads me to believe that the demon spawn were behind it, and the book I received yesterday from the Vatican only reinforces that theory. I know now that these may very well be the end times, and the time of the final struggle may well be upon us. I dreamed of LaCroix last night, of his hideous visage burned to ash in a great inferno. May it be that this is a vision given to me by God, and that I will be the vessel of his holy vengeance. The years have been long. Too long. Perhaps the soul of my father may finally rest in peace. Brother Kriegler reported a disturbance at the vampire coven we have been observing at the mansion in Hollywood. It seems there was a party, and something interrupted their fleshly rituals. He could say no more of the matter, but I smell LaCroix's meddling hand in this. All the better. May the demons feed on themselves until the world is rid of their evil. I had dreams of fires in Griffith Park last evening. I know not their origin, but I fear the worst. I received a letter from His Holiness, warning me that he is fearful that the apocalypse is upon us, and that my mission has become more important than ever. I hold his words close to my heart, and will fight for righteousness until I am no longer able. I took Johansson from his hotel room last evening and brought him back here to the monastery. I am convinced that LaCroix will try to find him, as he is the only one with the knowledge about how the artifact can be opened. The brethren have been warned to expect an assault on the monastery, and they are ready to die for his glory, as am I. May the Holy Father bless us in these last dark days, and may the children of Satan burn forever in the hellfires of damnation. Amen.
stories have you heard, young brother? There are many. Some say he saw his own mother eat by a couple of witches. Another said he once threw his own There are even whispers that he is the resurrected Saint Leopold, come to lead his armies into the final battle against the armies of darkness.
Not all stories you hear are true. Brother Grunfeld is a good soldier just as you will become if you have faith in God and discipline to stand in his arms.
It is also said that he once killed a man.
Some stories suggest.
I suppose, but I don't know the man who can hold his breath for that long. It is not men we need to worry about. Ah, yes, I see your point. We shall be cautious.
No more fire. No fire.
A dead phoenix in a cage after I tried to help you fly.
It ruined my face. The fire, I can still feel it in my wounds. They'll kill me. They'll come back with their brands and it will burn.
The cries of the dead phoenix do not go unheard. Stop squawking.
I wouldn't talk, so they burned me. Again and again and again. Their eyes, they enjoyed it. Before they come back, I'm begging you, let me out.
Drink this and mend your broken body, Phoenix.
I once drank from the most desirable women in the world. Right now, this bag looks better than any of them.
You will not be caged much longer.
Thanks. You'll never see me again. I'm gonna go somewhere no one will ever see this face again.
Fly away, dead phoenix.
I'm shot not!
I knew Johansen would lure the servants of Satan, but I set this type for the archfiend himself. Where is Lacroix?
You can't keep the professor here. He had tenure.
He is under divine protection. If you want him, come take him if you can.
If only the dead told tales, they would all know not to stand in my path.
I told you everything. There's no reason for you to keep me here. Let me go!
What's up, Doc?
I am an archaeologist. You can't hold me here like this. I am a hostage. I do not need protection. Bring me back to my hotel at once.
I will take you on a boat ride if you speak of sarcophagi.
Yeah, okay. Anything, just get me out of these caverns and away from these crazies. I think I'm starting to get pneumonia.
Tell me a story about the Ankaran sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus? You went through all that trouble for the sarcophagus? Yeah, I'll tell you. But don't you think it would be better to get out of here before those men come back?
Oh, them, I just punched their cards. Place is under new management.
I guess if you can get all the way here, you deserve the answers. But can I make one request first? After I answer your questions, you will help me escape.
Yeah.
All right. Where should I begin?
Tell me a story about the sarcophagus.
Let's start with the history of the Ankaran sarcophagus. That is a long and interesting legend, lost and found throughout the ages. Tell me, are you familiar with the Assyrians?
I love their work.
Yeah, well, the markings on the sarcophagus seem to hint that it is from sometime between 1050 and 800 BC, which was a period of fierce expansion by the Assyrians. Oddly, for those years, only one king shows up on the historical record.
This one is listening.
While most likely he wiped all evidence of his predecessor's existence or passed the name to his heirs, one monarch, Masquerade, the one-eyed king, is given credit for the territory and achievements of this time. But he would have had to have been over 250 years old, like Dracula or something.
Masquerade? Or someone else?
I find it hard to believe a sarcophagus with a person as important as Masquerade could remain in, pristine or intact condition for so many years. But this is who is believed to be contained within.
Did you look inside?
Maybe you have not heard. It was stolen from the museum before we had a chance to open it. Usually we use equipment to carbon date, X-ray, and take air samples before we pry open the lid.
A real vampire, really?
You know, it is interesting that you ask me that. The goddess on the outside of the sarcophagus was Lamastu. In Assyrian myth, Lamastu was an evil demoness who preyed on humans. Many people cite her as the mother of vampire myth, and the engravings on and found around the sarcophagus portray a regal figure drinking the blood of his enemies. Now, this image is found in many cultures, specifically among those of royal lineage, but there is a quite scientific explanation.
He was the first LARPer?
A disorder known as porphyria. In short, it is caused by a deficiency of the iron in the blood, and in many cultures, for the nobility that could conceivably get away with the cure, the treatment was to drink human blood.
He knew the sweet ecstasy of. I mean, he drank blood?
Perhaps. Drinking the blood of your enemies is, if nothing else, symbolic. It can inspire fear in your foes and dissidents. Don't misunderstand me. I in no way believe it was a vampire. Vampires. That's what caused this whole mess. These maniacs believe they exist.
Why did you discover it?
That is, you see, in archaeology, one can spend years looking for a dig site, following local rumors, studying old maps. It's a complicated process, very boring.
This one is listening.
Finding and organizing a dig is the least interesting part of an archaeologist's job. Trust me, you don't want to hear about it.
Lying!
I don't know what would make you believe that. I have been very forthcoming with you so far. I think that maybe you are not as familiar with the process as me.
It called to you. No, it wrote you.
Okay, I tell you. Yeah, I was not even aware of the sarcophagus' existence until I received a package with no reply address in the mail. Inside was the information on how to find it and the key. Please keep it a secret, or I could be ruined.
Masquerade is inside, with no doubt?
That I can't be sure of, nor can anyone. But I promise you it is more likely to be filled with, gummy bears than vampires. Perhaps maybe a mummy, but not likely the kind to go about chasing Abbott and Costello.
Can you tell me another story about vampires?
Not much, really. I'm an archaeologist, not a mythologist. But I do know that Lamastu, the Assyrian demoness, was thought to have been the inspiration for Lilith, the first wife of Adam in the Jewish Old Testament, another source of the vampire myth.
No more stories. I want in.
Ah, quite interesting. There is a surprisingly complex mechanical lock on the face of the sarcophagus. By sheer luck, we were able to find the key not far from the sarcophagus. Why no one ever found it and robbed it? It's perplexing.
I want it, and I can't wait for Christmas.
How strange you would ask. I haven't seen the key since it was loaded onto the Elizabeth Dane in Turkey. It was stolen before the sarcophagus even. I am still hopeful that the police find both pieces before the contents can be disturbed.
Where is the spare?
No, it's not the kind of key you can copy at the hardware store. It's actually very sophisticated, and I meant to study it at the museum. I've answered all your questions. Do you think now you could please get me out of here? I don't care who you are or why you've had so many questions about the sarcophagus. I just want to leave this place.
Let's go on a cruise together, just you and me.
Thank you, my friend. I don't know where you came from, but I will never forget this kindness.
Don't mention it, or better do.
Your time of judgment is here.